12 o'clock and you're watching news analysis coming to you live in Politics and Business TV, Abuja. Many thanks for joining us on the program for today. I am Inyola Uluwali. The headlines. Senate backs Akpabio as Natasha files 100.3 billion naira defamation suits. Akpabio cries for protection as 24 killed in Edo violence. INEC releases FCT Area Council election notice. Visa on arrival policy upgraded not scrapped, says minister. And on foreign news, 6 babies died of hypothermia in Gaza, health official says. The news in full. The Senate on Tuesday threw its weight behind the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, as the senator representing Kogi Central Senatorial District, Mrs. Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, filed a 100.3 billion naira defamation lawsuit against Akpabio. The suit was a fallout of the clash between Akpabio and the female Kogi lawmaker last week over the relocation of her seats. It was reported that Akpoti-Uduaghan and Akpabio were engaged in a heated verbal exchange during plenary last week when the Kogi lawmaker protested the relocation of her seats. In the heat of the argument, the Senate President called on the Senate security to walk the female senator out of the chamber, but fellow lawmakers' interventions saved the situation from degenerating out of hand. However, in a suit marked CV/737/25 filed before the Federal Capital Territory High Court on 25 February 2025, the Kogi lawmaker accused the Senate President of defamation. Akpoti-Uduaghan, through her lawyer, Victor Giwa, alleged that the defamatory statements were made by the Senate President and published by his aide on Facebook. Giwa argued that the statement was defamatory, provocative, and disparaging, lowering his client's dignity in the eyes of her colleagues and the public. Furthermore, Akpoti-Uduaghan asked the court to order the defendants to pay her 100 billion naira in general damages and 300 million as litigation costs. Meanwhile, Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpabolo on Tuesday condemned the recent attacks in the state, which he said have claimed 24 lives. The first clash, which reportedly claimed 22 lives, occurred between cocoa farmers and alleged produce thieves in the agrarian community of Belamoti in Ovia, southwest local government area. Contrary to the 7 deaths initially reported by the Edo State Police Command, sources confirmed a higher toll. The violence began on Thursday night and escalated on Friday morning when sympathizers of those killed launched a counter-attack, leading to more fatalities. And in a separate incident, 2 residents of Opekwe community in Esako East local government area, Betumu Philip Ebo and Christopher Bello, were reportedly killed on Monday by suspected headers. In a statement by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Fred Uta, the state government declared its zero-tolerance policy to violence and vowed to bring the perpetrators to justice. Meanwhile, Governor Okpabolo has ordered the deployment of additional security personnel to the affected areas and promised support to affected communities. Moving on, the Independent National Electoral Commission has issued a notice of polls for the area council election in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The elections are set to take place on February the 21st of 2026, starting at 8:30 a.m. at all polling units within the FCT. In a statement released on Wednesday, INEC emphasized that only eligible voters with valid permanent voters cards and those names whose names appears on the registrar of voters will be allowed to cast their ballots. The Commission also confirmed that the bimodal voter accreditation system would be employed for the exercise. As such, voters must ensure they possess their PVCs to participate in the election. The elections will cover the 6 area councils in the Federal Capital Territory. This is news analysis on Politics and Business TV. We'll go on a short break, and when we're back, we'll bring you more news reports. Stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for joining us on the program. Moving on, the Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, on Tuesday doused tension over the controversy trailing the purported cancellation of the visa on arrival policy, saying the process was upgraded and not scrapped, as been reported. Tunji-Ojo made the clarification after his closed-door meeting with a delegation of the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council in Abuja. This was disclosed in a statement issued by PEBIC Director General Princess Zara in Abuja. Zara explained that the meeting aimed to address concerns and clarify the government's stance on the VOA initiative. She also said the development was in line with PEBIC's effort to simplify procedures and reduce bureaucratic constraints to doing business in Nigeria. And in foreign news, 6 babies have died from hypothermia in Gaza since Sunday, according to health officials in the Strip, who warned there will be more such deaths unless more aid enters the enclave. Dr. Saeed Salah, the medical director of the Patient Friend Benevolent Society Hospital, Northern Gaza, warned of a disaster in the rising number of babies suffering from hypothermia as they try to survive winter conditions in the Strip. In the past 2 weeks, 8 babies with hypothermia were admitted to the medical facilities in Gaza City, said Dr. Salah. Of those, 3 were admitted to the intensive care unit, and 3 others died within hours of arrival. Then on Tuesday, a 4th baby who was just 69 days old died overnight. For the South, 2 others' baby dies with hypothermia symptoms in Nasser Hospital, Khan Yunis health workers have told journalists. Dr. Salah said more caravans, tents, and fuel were needed to bring warmth to the people. He added that such provisions would stop this kind of catastrophe from repeating itself and prevent the death of non-natal babies from hypothermia and frostbite. And now for sports, let's connect with Abel Sunday.
Good afternoon and welcome to P&B Sport News. I'm Abel Sunday. Arsenal is facing a tough road ahead, despite Mikel Arteta's deviant tone. The team's chance of catching up to Liverpool seems slim. The Gunners lose to West Ham and Manchester City defeat to Liverpool have made it an uphill battle for Arsenal. The Premier League table top 10 is Liverpool 64 sitting on the first position. Second is Arsenal with 53 points, and third is Nottingham Forest with 47 points. Fourth is Manchester City with 44 points. Fifth is Newcastle with 44 points as well. Sixth is Bournemouth with 43 points. Then seventh is Chelsea with 43 points as well. Aston Villa 42 points in 8th position. Brighton with 40 points in 9th position. Then the 10th position is Fulham with 39 points. That's all for sports today. I'm Abel Sunday.
Welcome back. Still you're watching news analysis and politics and business TV. Now to the focus of the day. IBB's book, The Facts and the Lies. Nigerian former military ruler Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, known as IBB, has released a new autobiography including several revelations about the turbulent times while he was in charge of the country from 1985 to 1993. The book, A Journey in Service, has got Nigerians talking and reflecting on what might have been if things have turned out differently, especially the controversial decision to annul the 1993 election and the execution of a childhood friend. Babangida has a mixed record. While some praise him for the infrastructural developments of Nigeria, others say there was massive corruption during his time. Joining us to discuss this very sensitive topic, we have with us in the studio today Comrade Bitako Abubakar Umar, a public affairs analyst and director of communications and publicity of Rebuild Arawa Initiative for Development. A very good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, my uncle. Good afternoon, Nigerians.
Yes, we really appreciate you. Thank you for joining us in the program for today. So, sir.
It's a pleasure joining
you. The topic for today. The topic for today is IBB, the facts, IBB's book, The Facts and the Lies. So, sir, I would like to ask, Comrade, what do you make of IBB's book that was launched recently?
Well, first of all, I would like to observe the fact that IBB was the president, was head of state in this country, who, of course, earned a very remarkable record when it comes to infrastructural development as far as Nigeria is concerned. And secondly, the facts remains clearing, particularly in his books, The Journey to Service. Likewise, the lies. I think the lies are the worrisome, because when you look at the case of the June 12, 1993 annulled elections, it is obvious the elections was conducted under his stewardship, being the commander-in-chief as at then. And the election was obvious that it was one of the best, free, fair, and transparent elections conducted in the history of Nigeria. These are obvious facts revealed in his autobiography. But the lies is too open for every learned Nigerian that even though the election was transparent, even though the election was adjudged as one of the best elections, it was not Abiola, the late Abiola of the blessed memory, was not declared as the winner of the election, despite the fact that he was elected across regional and ethnic lines in the country. The election was not declared unless, but going by constitution, until and unless an election is declared, concluded, and the winner declared, it is at that juncture that can be said a particular candidate has won the election. But in this circumstance, the election, the collation of results were ongoing when the president and commander-in-chief declared the election, annulled the election. You understand? So for people to say Abiola won election, how did he win election when it was not authoritatively and officially announced by INEC? Don't forget that INEC, Independent Electoral Commission, is an independent body. The president, being the commander, was not the one to announce the election. It was the INEC that was meant to announce the results. You understand? So it baffles me all the time to hear people say Abiola won the election when it was not officially announced. You understand?
Yes, sir.
And that is one. Another angle of looking at this argument is he, as the commander-in-chief, accepted responsibility as a responsible leader and commander-in-chief. He accepted the responsibility of the fact that the election was annulled. But in his previous interview 18 years ago, he did not regret. But this time around, we could see a very sharp turn of event where he said he has regretted the fact that the election was annulled by some fact reasons best mentioned to him. But to me, as a student of education, when we look at IBB now, IBB is above 80. Psychologically, any person that is above 75 has attained that stage of second childhood, what we call the theory of second enfant. Yeah. That is second childhood, where he diminishes. You understand? Loss of memory is there, and other factors. He is always, people at that age are managed. So I will have, to me, as a student of education, I am not comfortable by the president a kind of launching this particular book at this moment. I would have expected he would have launched this book earlier than now, at the 60s or late 60s. You understand? Mm-hmm. Because now there are many confusions that are revealed within the context of the book he has written and has launched.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for that impressive answer. Sir, also, I would like to ask, IBB has blamed the Abacha and others for the annulment of June 12th. But does it make any sense to you, considering the fact that Abacha and the others are dead now?
It gives me concern, first of all, as a Muslim. IBB is a Muslim, Abacha is a Muslim. In the teaching of Islam, it is enjoined on persons not to mention names of people who are dead in an evil manner or in a wrong manner. It is against the teaching of Islam. So in that respect, IBB have gone contrary. He has gone contrary in that respect. But secondly, you see, that is why I said this book will have been good to have been launched earlier than now. You understand? When people like Abacha and co are still alive. Because when you look at people that are mentioned in the book, many of them are dead. You understand? So how nobody can testify on their own behalf because they are dead? There's no witness to that effect. It's as good as a text written by Hadi Chase that the dead are silenced or the dead are dumped. I mean, somebody that is dead cannot say anything. He is not there. You understand? So that is the worrisome, the confusing aspect of the book launched by IBB. Right, you understand?
Yes, sir.
It's quite contradictory.
Okay.
And another version of looking at it is he made mention that Abacha will have been killed, something like that, by Abacha or what of you. As the commander-in-chief, we felt, or I felt, that he stood the better position to have handled the situation administratively. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Rather than annulling the election, he will have coined a way of handling the issue administratively, rather than annulling the purported 3 years best and transparent election conducted in the history of Nigeria. So that was a mishap in his own side as the commander-in-chief. You understand?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
And we should not forget that Abacha has been one of the best presidents Nigeria has ever produced.
Oh, yes.
Take it or leave it.
Yes.
People have been dumping evils on him even after his death. Up to this moment, we hear of Abacha loot being returned. When we are seeing very many ministers, very many former senators and what of you, governors are busy day in, day out, looting the treasury of the country and taking it out of the country. Yet nothing has been done against them. But the almighty Abacha, up to this moment, we hear of it, return of Abacha loot. Return of Abacha loot. This is the president that I think he traveled out of the country only on 2 good occasions during his tenure as a president. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So some of these accusations are much more laughable as far as I'm concerned. And you see, in this country, most at times, history are tilted otherwise as against the favor of northern Nigeria. That has been is critically playing out.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Moving on. Is IBB not creating more enemies with the blame game, especially with the Abacha family? What do you think, sir?
Of course, that enmity is created. And that is why we said in Islam teaches silence over somebody who is dead, so that you don't create unnecessary confusion, frictions, and enmity in the society. This person is dead, nobody is there to testify against him. So why mentioning his name? Why reflecting him? Why wouldn't he have launched this book when he was alive?
All right.
You understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In Islam, there is this saying that you either say good thing about somebody who is dead or you keep quiet. You understand? That is the abuse of the teaching of Islam. And that is where he is getting more enemies, creating more enemy to himself at this old age of his. Because at his own age, he is expected to have a very tranquility lifestyle now, devoid of all infractions, I mean.
All right, sir. I also want to ask, does this book exonerate him in any way from the mistakes he has made during his time in service?
I don't think it exonerates him 100%. If there is an exoneration, it should be 25% against 100. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So you see, the June 12th, when you look at it, it is exactly what transpired in 2023, where mass majority of the vote came from northern Nigeria. And so also, majority of the vote casted in 1993 was from the northern Nigeria. You understand?
Very correct.
So when you look at the politics that plays, it is not favorable at all to the entire livelihood of Nigeria as a nation, because the majority of vote comes from the north. The north has been friends to the southwestern region. But when you see how the southwestern region have been blackmailing the northern region, castigating